So, let me take it from where Chamberlain stopped. You know, if we have people like these who have maybe flouted or lay down rules, damn every consequence and build homes in wetlands and places that they shouldn't, isn't it the responsibility of the government to, because they must save their lives, isn't it your task to move in and tell them, hey, guys, leave this place and take them out of that place?
Yeah, you know, the government exists to protect lives and property. We owe them that to do that, and so on. Don't forget that it's also a government of the rule of law. Even somebody who has occupied a place for illegally for years, under the law also has some rights. So before you do that, the one thing, as a responsible government, you have alternatives for them. Already last year, we were given an ecological fund with Ogun State.
Yeah.
So what did you do with our own money? That is the question. The money is intact. We have not touched the cover on that. We went to look for a land in Agboa. We got the land in Agboa. The design is ready now, and so about 2 months ago, we had to, because that money has to be operated. Even if the money is donated to you, if the house does not even approve it, you cannot spend it. That's why you find many people get into trouble. Many governors get into trouble because they don't understand that. Even if money is donated to you, a governor cannot just say, I want to spend that money. You must go to the assembly that will now appropriate that money for you. So that money has now been appropriated for us about last month now to start development where we are moving the victims of last year flood, using that 700 million naira to go and develop. We are developing in Agboa, and I'm sure in the next 6 months and so on, you'll be able to see what we have done with that money.
Okay, is this in conjunction with the lands, housing, and the Surveyor General? Because I understand Lagos has a new plan now where if you get a piece of land or property, you have to go check with them to see something, either it's a floodplain or government.
No, it's also very important when you are seeking approval. Even when you are even purchasing a land,
yeah,
it's also very important. If you are buying a land, if you are not buying land, the best person to buy land from is from government. If you are buying land from Omonile, it's better for you to go and do a search. Go to lands registry in Atalausa, check whether this land is not under acquisition one. Secondly, it's not on the floodplain. Thirdly, it's also maybe somebody has not bought the land, or the land does not belong to another person. So that is why the land registry is there. You can any land in Lagos that you want. If you go there, you get the history of that land.
That's very crucial. Really.
It's very, very important. So, but people just buy land and so on, just go and build and so on, and the government comes and say you have built on an illegal place or under that.
What can we do about these two dams? I've been thinking about these causes now, about those two causes now, 2 dams and rain. The dams, isn't there an alternative way? Must we release the waters onto the people?
No, even the dam was built to manage that river. If the dam was not built, dam is used to also control, to manage the water flow on the rivers. All over the water, that's what they use. If dam had not been built, you won't be seeing water. Perhaps this part of Lagos would have been wiped out long ago. So dam is also used to control the flow of water on the river. So it's normal. It's also used for irrigation purpose, and it's used for electricity. Particularly the Ikere Gorge was designed purposely for irrigation.
Where's that? Is that in Lagos?
No, that's in Oyo State. Oyo State. It was designed purposely for irrigation and for electricity. Unfortunately, the electricity aspect of it has not really been utilized. So even the irrigation for farming and so on. If you have large scale farms all over Southwest, most of these farms will have absorbed most of the water. They use the water regularly and will be able to reduce the amount of water that. But where are the large scale farms in West? So that's why you have high volume of water every time and so. So for now, we are managing the dam very well. As long as the water is released on a regular basis, maybe at 10% of what should normally be released on a regular basis, you won't have that problem. But the rain, you cannot control it. You cannot control rain and so on. That's the only problem we have now. For the dam, that can be managed, because if the water from the dam is released, it's going to be worse than what we're having. And that is why the last year, what we had last year was worse than.
Yeah.
So now it's because we control it. And the water is even it's receding now because the rain has stopped. So, but if the rain comes again in the next few days and so on, you cannot see what may likely happen.
And interested in with the ecological funds.
Yeah.
I know that the House of Representatives Committee on the Environment have said they're going to, investigate how states have spent their ecological funds. I'm a bit interested in, the history of it in Lagos State. What have we spent it in so far? I know that you told us the one that was given to you last year is still intact. You haven't done anything with that, but the ones before that, did you get any ecological funds?
No, until last year, Lagos did not get ecological fund for 6 years. Obasanjo played politics with Lagos on that. While several states were being given ecological fund, the last time Lagos was given ecological fund was probably in 2002 or so. That was during the first term of Obasanjo, because that was when Lagos was given money which they used to develop some drainage channels in Lagos. Since that time, we've always applied. We are never given. I think throughout Obasanjo, the last 6 years or so, we are not given. It was only last year. So you can see in the last 12 years or so, we're only given once. While some states, particularly in the north, even in southwest, they were getting regularly every year. Some get in the range of billions of naira and so on. With that money, I don't think they shouldn't be having ecological problems.
Don't you make presentation or representation?
We do, like every year.
For instance, what we've seen so far in Lagos lately, isn't that good enough reason for you to ask for more monies, more funds?
Oh, even after the July 10 raid, when the president came, we took him in an helicopter with the governor, the president, and I was also invited to join them. We took him, first of all, what we did, we took him around to see what has happened. And then also show him what we'll be doing with our own money. For example, we show him some of the drainage channels we are developing. We show him from the helicopter so I could see them. That what we are doing on our own, we are spending our own resources to develop these drainage channels and so that we need assistance. So they just need to complement what we are doing. We're doing drainage channels everywhere. We are even lining many of them so that they become more manageable. So that they become more manageable, If you go to Bagada now, you see the drainage we are slabbing and so on. Although we still have serious problem in Shomolu, Bagada, several Sholui, part of Shomolu, which are now trying to remove some of the constrictions.
Densely populated.
They still have serious problem. But by the time we remove all these constrictions and so on, drain the channels as well as maybe line some of them, so we'll be able to solve.
Is that when he promised 750 million?
The
last time the president came.
Yeah.
When they were in the corridor road, the governor was also there. They also said he was promised some sort of money. How much was it and what has been done?
No, we have made our request to the federal government when the last time, because the Office of Ecological Fund also visited. We wrote, the governor sent a letter. He has sent about 3 letters now on our situation in Lagos, what we need the ecological fund for, stating the specific areas where we are going to use the money for. We itemize because likely part of the flooding problem you have in Lagos is also caused by the federal government.
How?
Either through action or inaction of federal government. If you look at, I'll give an example. If you go look at Oshidawapa Expressway, there are about almost 3 drainage channels that pass under that road. Now that road is depressed now. That means the water coming from Aguda, part of it goes back if you have heavy rain, and so the water cannot discharge properly. If you are going to Agege Motor Road, going to Ota, you saw what happened last time when the whole road collapsed and so on. When they were developing, Julius was developing the road and so on. Instead of using a high capacity ring, they used a very small ring and so on. So the volume of water that was coming from the Arigbanla side and so on, and when it got to the road side and so on, the road just simply collapsed. So if you look at Apapa-Oshodi Expressway, for instance, the water coming from Biolo Mushin, Lupeju, they pass through the Guardian to DHL side and so on. The water coming from Itire, Aguda, they also pass under the to Okota side and so on. So if you look, once the road is depressed that day, the drainage channels you have under the road, and so similarly in Amu Odofin, they are going to be affected. That is why you are part of Aguda that usually flooded and so on. By the time maybe that road is rehabilitated and so on, our channels and so on will now be able to clear them. We'll be able to clear them.
What is the situation? Sorry, Simon. What is the situation in Alpha Beach presently? Because the residents there are still afraid that slowly but surely it seems the sea is eating away at their houses.
That is a federal government responsibility. Now, don't forget we have taken up a lot of federal government responsibilities in Lagos. Even their roads. which we have rehabilitated and developed. We don't get, reform. We are not able to get enough refund for some of the roads. Now, look at Bar Beach, VI, we built a barrier. Was
that in conjunction with the federal government?
No, we did. It was our own money. We developed that place. We built the barrier. So we took the Mr. President to Alpha Beach, because the land that is being lost to the sea belongs to Nigeria, not to Lagos State. The federal government is responsible for the coastal management of Lagos. So every single land that is lost, it is Nigerian land that you are losing. It's not the Lagos State land that you are losing. So we took him there. You need to develop the same thing that we develop at the Bar Beach. You must extend it to that particular part of Lagos. And that's what we have written the federal government on that, and the president is aware of it. And so it is their responsibility, because it's going to cost a lot of money, but that's a longer stretch of a coastal line that you need to build a barrier.